Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another Ameta Academy Friday Live. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Every Friday, we take a real world application and show you how professional surveillance systems are designed, not by starting with products, but by starting with the customer operational challenges. Today's customer is a warehouse or fulfillment center. Now, here's a question for you. When you're asked to quote a warehouse project, what's the first thing you think about? For many installers, it's how many cameras am I going to need? I actually think that's the wrong question. The better question is, how does the warehouse operate every day? Because once you understand how inventory moves through a building, where forklifts travel, where trucks load, and where unauthorized access is most likely to occur, the camera placement almost starts designing itself. That's where we're going to walk through. That's what we're going to walk through today. Next slide. Every warehouse is different, but almost every warehouse follows the same operational flow. Products arrive, they're received, stored, picked, packed, and shipped. And here's why that matters. Every stage creates different surveillance requirements. A loading dock has very different risks than a warehouse aisle. An employee interest has different security requirements than a shipping bay. One camera cannot solve every problem. And that's where good system design begins. Next slide. Let's start inside the warehouse. Imagine standing at the intersection of four warehouse aisles. Forklifts are moving, employees are picking inventory, pallets are constantly being relocated. This is exactly where blind spots become a problem. Now, could you install four traditional cameras? Absolutely, but there's another option. A 360 fisheye camera allows you to monitor the entire intersection from a single location. Instead of asking, how many cameras do I need? Ask, how much area can one camera intelligently cover? That's why fisheye cameras are so effective in large indoor spaces. AIBASE offers two fisheye camera models. Both are almost identical except for one major difference. Next slide. Both of these models come with a 12 megapixel sensor and advanced AI features like heat mapping and crowd density analytics. But the biggest difference is simple. One model has onboard hardware dewarping, so you get the same high resolution and the same AI intelligence, but with the hardware dewarp version, you get a clean, corrected panoramic views directly from the camera. That means the camera itself produces a more natural looking image, reducing distortion without relying heavily on client-side processing. For operators, that makes monitoring and reviewing footage far more intuitive. Now, that doesn't mean the software dewarp model isn't a good option. It just means the dewarping happens at the NVR, where the system breaks the fisheye into individual regular camera style views. But before I show you the actual image captured by the AI-based 360 fisheye camera, let's take a look at the camera itself. Full screen, please. So here is the box of the camera. As you can see, it says fisheye, so we don't forget what it is. And then I'm just going to do a quick unboxing here. As you can see, we have the drill template. We have this nice foam protective cover. We have a weatherproof grommet. We have some drywall screws and some drywall anchors. And then we have the camera itself, along with the mounting bracket that it comes with. As you can see, it's a pretty compact form. It's a 12 megapixel fisheye. Going over the pigtail here, you have that 12 volt barrel connector. You have the alarm in and out. You have also a button here for, let's see, what does this button do? This is for your hardware dewarping, I believe. And then we have your RJ45 connector here. And then on each type of camera here, we have a QR code specifically for this camera for standalone use. This camera here can take an SD card for standalone use if you want to just not use an NVR. Again, that's just pretty much an overview. This does have two-way audio, so we have a speaker here, and it does come with that bracket for adjustment and placement there. So that's the overview here and a little quick unboxing. Now let me show you the actual image taken by our software dewarp model. Pull up the picture, please. As you can see, this is a high definition panoramic sensor. It gives you a fully dewarped multi-angle view that removes guesswork and brings every detail into focus. On the monitor, the 9-split grid shows multiple zones at once. No panning, no manual adjustments, just instant coverage. With 0 blind spots, you get full awareness across the entire scene, even in complex environments. The most important feature of this fisheye camera is the fisheye dewarp. The circular 360 captures, you can see, becomes 8 clean, intuitive views around it thanks to its dewarping technology. And these views, as you can see, are easy to read and easy to act on. This is a smarter, more complete monitoring, all from one intelligent camera. Okay, now let's move on to the transitional area of the warehouse, the area that connects the inside of the warehouse to the outside, the loading docks. Next slide. I think loading docks are one of the most overlooked parts of warehouse security. Think about everything that is happening here. Employees, forklifts, delivery drivers, trailers, open dock doors, high value inventory moving in and out. A traditional camera gives you one angle, sometimes two, but a 180-degree panoramic camera can monitor an entire row of loading bays with continuous coverage. That means fewer blind spots, fewer cameras, and much better understanding of what's happening across the busiest areas in the facility. Like the fisheye, AIBASE offers 2 camera options in this category. Let's take a look. Next slide. One option is the single lens 180 camera, a unique design that gives you a full panoramic view using just one lens. It also delivers stronger top to bottom coverage compared to the dual lens model. The dual lens version, on the other hand, gives you a wider overall field of view, capturing the more left to right area. So the rule of thumb is simple. Choose the single lens when vertical coverage matters most. Go with the dual lens when your priority is getting the widest view possible. But before I show you the actual images taken by these AIBASE 180-degree cameras, let's look at the actual cameras themselves. Full screen, please. So here is the single lens camera. As you can see with the very nice box, you can see it's a different single lens 180 camera there. You can see all the AI features on the box in case you want to do a quick overview. And then obviously you have your QR code and tag and model number there. So kind of going over the contents of this box, again, we have that placement sticker. We have protective foam. We have that weatherproof grommet. We have your Allen key for the doors and the set screws. And then we have, again, the drywall anchors and the screws. And then, of course, we have our camera and our protective film there. And to kind of go over it, we have the nice 180 lens camera. We have the 180 LEDs on here, red and blue lights, and a full color white light inside these LED cages. And then to kind of go over the pigtail, we have that 12-volt power, and we have the RG45 connector, along with that QR code for standalone use if you want to add it to the system that way, because it has a SD card there for that storage. And you can also use the backup storage too, in case your hard drive fails and you have the SD card in there just for backup. Just note that as well. And yeah, so that'll be our 180 camera. We do have a speaker grate there because it is two-way audio, just to mention that. It does red and blue lights, hence the light cages there, and also to that speaker for two-way audio. Thank you for spending some time with me on this. I'm going to put it away very briefly here. So now let me show you the actual images taken with these AIBASE 180-degree cameras. Pull up the picture, please. Place this here. Thank you guys for bearing with me. All right. The first picture you're looking at is from our single lens 180 camera. And as you can see, that one lens almost covers the entire block. It's a huge amount of vertical and panoramic coverage from a single sensor. Next image, please. This second shot is the same business park, spanning a full block, but captured with our dual lens model. Here you can see it pushes even wider side to side, giving you that extra horizontal reach. Like I said, both are excellent panoramic options. You can simply choose the one that fits your project needs. Single lens for a stronger top to bottom coverage, dual lens for the widest horizontal view possible. All right, now let's move on to the outside of the warehouse. Next slide. The perimeter of the warehouse has a completely different job. Inside the warehouse, we're documenting operations. Outside, we're trying to discourage incidents before they happen. This is exactly where active deterrence becomes valuable. When someone approaches a restricted area after hours, the AI-based active deterrence camera doesn't simply record an event. It can respond with warning lights, audio warnings, and talk down from the operator itself. This way, you're not just documenting crime, you're helping prevent it. But sometimes the camera audio isn't loud enough, especially in noisy places like the warehouses. So, what do you do for those sites? Well, let me tell you. Next slide. For those loud, noisy environments, you need AI-based IP horn speakers. When they're integrated with the AI-based surveillance system, your deterrence strategy reaches much farther. Instead of just seeing the warning lights, now they hear the warning too. And here's the best part. Our AI-based speakers aren't just for deterrence. They can also handle paging and announcements. So you can use them for internal communication, staff calls, and general broadcasting messaging. That's why we call it best value. And honestly, that's the story of AI-based as a whole. Best in value. Alright guys, let me show you the AI-based IP horn models. Next slide. We offer two IP horn speaker models. The first is a 15 watt amp pushing 113 decibels. The second sets up a 30 watt amp with 120 decibels. It also includes a built-in microphone for two-way audio. Both models are fully outdoor rated and can be powered by PoE or 12 to 24 volts, giving you a flexible installation options. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. You just pick the power level and features that match your project. Now, let's put it all together. Next slide. This is how I actually approach a warehouse project. I don't start by choosing cameras, I start by understanding how the warehouse operates. Then I match the right camera to each area. 360 fisheye cameras where activity happens in every direction. 180 panoramic cameras where you need continuous wide coverage. Active deterrence camera outside. IP horn speakers anywhere you need audible warnings or long reach messaging. This way, you're not just installing cameras. You're designing a surveillance system built for a warehouse or fulfillment center. And once everything is installed, it all becomes together through the AI-based software platform. One of the most important parts of the entire solution. Because, let's be honest, for daily monitoring, managers aren't thinking about megapixels. They're asking, can I quickly find an incident? Can I check the loading dock from home? Can I review yesterday's shipment? Can my security team monitor multiple facilities? That's exactly why the desktop VMS, web VMS, and AI Color Pro mobile app are such a critical pieces of the system. Good software makes good hardware even more valuable. Visit us.ametagroup.com/demo and experience the AI-based platform for yourself. Next slide. On the online demo page, you can try the desktop VMS, the web VMS, and the mobile app using our live demo environment. Explore the interface, check live view, review playback, test the AI search experience. Because the best way to understand AI-based is not just to hear about it, it's to use it. And if the online demo doesn't cut it for you and you like to have a product in your hands and want to test it out yourself by setting it up on your test bench, try our Discovery Kit. We offer an exclusive discount on that kit with free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Visit our website, us.ametagroup.com, and learn more about this offer. Now, I'd like to leave you with one simple idea. Next slide. Good surveillance starts with understanding the operation. If you understand how the warehouse actually runs, the flow of goods, the choke points, the blind corners, choosing the right camera becomes simple. Because real surveillance design isn't about selling hardware, it's about solving operational problems. And when you do that well, everybody wins. The installer, the warehouse operator, and the customer. But guys, choosing the right system is only part of the solution. You also need a supplier who can help you specify it correctly, support the installation, and stand behind the system long term. That's where Ameta comes in. Next slide. If you have been in the industry for a while, you know the US surveillance market has changed dramatically. For years, many installers relied on brands like Hikvision. Ameta supplied Hikvision to many US customers in the past, and we still support it in Canada where the market environment is different. But in the US, the reality has changed. NDAA compliance requirements restricted the use of certain equipment in federal and government related projects. Then, FCC equipment authorization restrictions made it much harder for manufacturers like Hikvision to introduce new products into the US market. And now that the news is that most Hikvision products will be completely banned, and that's not an exaggeration, the FCC has expanded its restrictions to ban the import of both new and older Hikvision models, closing the loophole that previously allowed legacy inventory into the US market. This means distributors can no longer bring in new or grandfathered Hikvision equipment, and many OEM brands that are quietly used Hikvision components are affected as well. For installers, that creates a real challenge because for you, it's not just about changing the camera system. It's about retraining techs. It's learning new software. It's updating sales material, supporting existing customers, explaining the transition to your team and your customers. We understand how disruptive that can be. That is exactly why Ameta has invested so heavily in AIBASE. We are helping our US partners transition to a stable NDAA compliant platform with a long-term future, North American support, and proprietary software ecosystem. The goal is not just to replace one brand with another. The goal is to help you avoid having to go through this kind of transition again. Ameta has served security professionals for over 25 years in Canada, and in the recent years, we have expanded our footprint here in the US. We have helped partners navigate market shocks before, and we are committed to doing that now. We are not asking you to simply switch brands. We are inviting you to invest in a platform built for the future. All right, guys, that is what we wanted to cover today. Now I want to hear from you. If you worked on a warehouse project or you're planning one, we'd love to hear about it. Our team is always happy to help you design the right surveillance solution for you and your customer's property. Drop your questions in the chat, and if you want to experience AI-based platform for yourself, visit usametagroup.com and also visit usametagroup.com/demo. All right, so let's get into the Q&A part of the webinar. Just going to go ahead and pull up the chat here. Bear with me for a moment. Okay. All right, we have a question here. Jonathan URS, you can run the camera solely on PoE RJ45, right? On all three of these cameras here, I did this one a little messy, that's why I was on the floor for a second. But yeah, every single camera here, whether it's our fisheye, our single lens, or our dual lens 180 camera, you can run them all off the RJ45 PoE. And if you don't have a PoE switch, you can run it with a PoE injector running from the router as well. But also too, you can run it off a 12 volt. It does have that barrel connector. All these cameras have a 12 volt barrel connector for external power. If you want to do that way and run a non-PoE cable to the RJ45 connector. We have another question here. Does dual lens support two-way talk? Yes. Our dual lens does support two-way talk. Our single lens supports two-way talk. All our 180s support two-way talk. Thank you for your question. Keep them coming. Any other questions? Does the dual lens have red and blue strobe lights? Yes, it does. Thank you for that question. Does the single lens have dual red and blue strobe lights? Yes, it does. Do these cameras come with a drill template? Yes, they do. But not just about the cameras. Talk to me about some site issues you're dealing with. If it's not a warehouse, maybe it's a farm. We covered that last week. Or maybe drop a next topic you'd like us to cover. We're always open to a friendly discussion here. Excuse me, I'm going to take some water here while we wait for some more questions. Or let us know what your favorite camera to use is on a warehouse project. We're always looking for feedback, anyway, anyhow. All right, we have another question here. Hi, Austin. Are these cameras cloud ready for certain customers that need cloud storage? Yes, you can absolutely connect to cloud storage. You can actually connect them to your local NAS if you want. If you want to keep a local cloud going in a form of a NAS, you can, through the NVR, connect these for storage as well. And also, too, we are developing a plugin to integrate our cameras with digital watchdogs. We know it's a very popular platform that a lot of people use for cloud storage, and we're currently working on a plugin to kind of do integration with DW, or Digital Watchdog, for that cloud storage. So, interesting things coming. Please stay tuned for more updates on our cloud storage options. Great question, Nancy. Thank you. Maybe a question for anyone watching now. What do you guys technically like to use? The single lens 180 if you have, or the dual lens 180? What's more popular in your projects? Okay, we have another question here. So you can extend the NVR storage with external NAS. Yeah, actually, you can connect the NAS to the NVR for external storage, correct. And then Antonio Brunda, nice to hear from you, Tony. Can you license plate with these cameras? If yes, how far? No, we can't do license plate reading on these cameras. They're not dedicated license plate readers, nor do we recommend them for license plate reading. We do offer license plate readers that are dedicated for that specific license plate reading use. They are motorized bullet cameras that are specifically made to capture plates. To kind of understand license plates, they need special exposure parameters for nighttime plate capture. Because obviously we have plates that are reflective, and the cameras need to be designed to handle that. And because of that, we always recommend using our LPRs for that dedicated license plate capture. So we also have two options there right now, currently on our website, and a 5 megapixel LPR and a 4K LPR. So depending on your project, you go ahead and choose the right one that's right for you. But I appreciate the question. But not to say these cameras don't have any built-in AI. They do have active deterrence AI. They do have your pedestrian intrusion detection. They have your loitering detection as well, in case you want to use them maybe for a non-warehouse project. But I'm thinking of a store, like a liquor store or maybe a gas station where people frequently loiter. Put a 180 camera in the middle of that front walkway, and you can have a loitering protection there, so you can do active deterrence when people are standing in the front of the building a little too long. All right. If we don't have any more questions here, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Post any last minute questions now. We'll wait. Let's give it a minute. Appreciate everyone coming into the live today. If you have any further questions, make sure to call us at 626-563-6001 for all your inquiries. We'll be happy to help you. And if you want to try AIBASE for yourself, make sure to visit us.ametagroup.com. You can also visit us.ametagroup.com/demo to access a virtual demo today, whether it's our mobile app, our web VMS, or our desktop VMS. Visit us.ametagroup.com/demo. Okay. Oh, I see a last question here from Nancy. What AI analytics are popular with warehouse clients? A lot of AI that are popular with warehouse clients is obviously perimeter intrusion for sensitive areas where maybe you have like a restricted area where you don't want employees going into and you want to be alerted, or maybe you have outside areas that are restricted and you want to be alerted. We have perimeter intrusion on these cameras. Pedestrian vehicle detection to get kind of those alerts and make sure someone's in a certain area that they're supposed to be, and reduce those false alerts on motion and change it to pedestrian. And vehicle detection. They also have loitering detection, as I mentioned before, in case, let's say, you have some people outside and you don't want them to stay in that certain area for a long time. The loitering detection will activate active deterrence from when a person is staying in a certain time zone or a certain zone at a certain time too long, and then the camera will produce active deterrence, siren, red and blue strobe lights with its loitering detection. Sorry for that long-winded comment. But yeah, all the typical AI that you would have on your active deterrence, 5 megapixel cameras, 8 megapixel cameras, you would have on these 180 cameras as well. Appreciate that question. Anything else I should elaborate? Speakers. Oh yeah, I want to re-mention too, these cameras do connect with our IP speakers when paired with our NVR. You can use them as peripheral connections, so you can go ahead and, there you go, the specific right there, line crossing, perimeter intrusion detection, loitering alerts for yards. And then we have here, well, just going back to it, I was just mentioning you can connect our IP speakers with our cameras here to kind of boost that siren sound for outdoor areas. And also, too, IP speakers can be used for paging when paired with a VoIP phone system. Very useful to call out, employees if you need to ring them to the office, or maybe you have pickup orders you need to yell out. Our IP speakers are great for that. So consider an IP speaker to pair with our cameras, or even use it for an intercom solution, a paging solution, I should say. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us today. Let me go over here for a second. Thank you again for spending part of your Friday with us. We truly appreciate your time and partnership. Make sure you check out our step-by-step AI-based system setup tutorials on our website. The link is in the description below. Also, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap that bell so you never miss one of our Friday live streams. Until next week, stay safe, have a great weekend, and we will see you on the next Ameta Academy Friday Live. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.